Item number 19, City Council reports. Councilmember Cleveland.
Yes, had a housing authority meeting. Actually, have another one tomorrow. But at these housing authority meetings, there's a special program called FSS, which has financial self-sufficiency programs where they encourage people that are on government assistance in many different ways, especially housing, to um, get a help up and instead of just a handout. And they go through education. They set goals, and our housing authority works with them within the housing authority to set goals for and going to school, getting better jobs, and eventually over stages not needing any government assistance of any kind. Last month we had 4 graduates. They do get a financial incentive to do this, and but it's just one of those things that says help them up, get them out there because some of them just no way financially they'd be staying in the same position. So we had 4 graduates last month or last meeting, and then we're also going to be having 3 more graduates this next meeting. So and they're productive in the community. They're paying the taxes. One of them is 2 of them have bought houses, and we've had I think 9 or 10 this year so far do this. And so that's one of the goals is the as many as will pick themselves up and decide to set goals. We're willing and able to help them out. Let's see, volunteered at the Greek Festival. Boy, what a blast that was. I see some volunteers here, hard workers. It was a blast. The lamb was delicious. Sorry, but just some people don't like lamb, but man, that was over the top. The dancing and the neat thing was the cultural display that was there. The music and the dancing, they came clear from Reno, from one of the churches up there, one of the Greek Orthodox churches. The youth came down and I got everybody going around in the circle all over the place, the snaking around. It was awesome. So that was neat. I attended the California League of Cities conference. It was down in San Jose, so it was relatively close this year. Gleaned a lot of information. One of the meetings went to, which another member of the council went, was bullying based upon for youth and adults and its effects. And I think we kind of controlled the conversation, didn't we? They were going to head off in another direction that we didn't like, and so we just kind of nudged it the way where it stayed with the youth and efforts that we're supposed to be. So we accomplished something very good because everybody piped up and got involved then. Let's see, with the general session was on libraries and the effectiveness of them and the necessity of them in the coming centuries. The guy that was up there went 5 minutes on cliches completely through. Every one of them made sense and fit in, so it was really cool. And then he talked about books are not in danger. They said it's a $2 to $2.5 billion business and growing. It's not going down. It's actually increasing. There was a drop for a few years as ebooks went out, but it's back climbing very quickly. And then the new vision, perhaps, which our community library already does, is being a community meeting place for other things. Ours does ESL, English as a Second Language classes there. Fits with the library. Come on, perfect for that. Becoming a naturalized citizen for this, for that, and then they have a connection through other areas in the community where they hold classes connected to the library, and they send them back to the library to do things. Resumes and how to design them, many things. And one of the featured cities, they did the school lunches when they go away. There's no lunches. Well, they took that on as a lunch program for the kids, and more kids came to the library. They stayed there, a good half of the day, and so it ended up increasing their library attendance in their community. So the future of libraries is there, and we just need to be a little more creative and have them do more than just their reading. It's research and everything. So looking forward to discussions with the city staff. Affordable housing discussion. I have some documents here regarding affordable housing. Of course, I've been on that board now 9 years. infrastructure, finance, and some information I'm going to be, questions I'm going to be asking staff as we go through time. We actually got to participate, I think all three of us. Some of us didn't say anything, so there wouldn't be any problems with three of us being there. Regarding efficient government roundtable, it wasn't a government-run one. It was an independent. I was suspicious of it because I thought maybe it would be a government, and it was independent. And I know that Mr. Darren Gale got some fantastic ideas and some new stuff that we might do. We were able to share some that we did that other cities decided that they liked. It was a relatively small group, but I think some new efficiencies for us and ideas are going to be coming out in the next year. So if it even takes that long, but it was a great time. Got to meet some people at the Asian Pacific Chamber of Commerce, which I had been wanting to discuss, and of course we go to Japan, and so it was a very rewarding conference this time. Appreciate the ability to go and the city making that available.
All right, thank you for your comments, Councilmember Didwell.
It's been a really busy last 2 weeks, so I'm going to put down a list. Went to the Sierra Central open house. That was a project that actually, as a planning commissioner, I was involved in way back 10 years ago, from paper to drawings, all the way to the groundbreaking and to what it is currently. So it was really nice to actually see the full project from beginning to end. Had the Police Association Pig Feed, which was a great event. It was nice to see everyone there. I think majority of us were all there. I also had the privilege to be a keynote speaker at the Yuba City Indo-American Business Association, which I had the honor to help provide 12 driving scholarships for kids getting ready to get their driver's license, who do not have the funds themselves. We had 12 students who got scholarships for a summer reading program that's actually held through their libraries, both Yuba as well as Sutter. Also gave away cooking classes for 3 students to learn how to cook Indian food in one of the restaurants. So that was fun to see all the kids really, really excited. So that was 27 scholarships given away that night. So really nice event. Also attended the league conference. Great resources. There's a program, you pretty much covered the bullying and so forth, but there's a program that I'm hoping to spearhead, and with the help of Darren, would be the summer 7-week program for the kids to be here at City Hall. Actually, the individual has already contacted me, so we'll go ahead and touch base. So that was a really exciting program. It keeps the kids busy for 7 weeks, educates them about government and being here around City Hall and how leadership works. Let's see, did the Pink October 5K walk and run. Was out there supporting my girlfriend, who is currently going through cancer. Keep her in your prayers. And have several relatives who are actually in remission. So was out there in support of all of them. Went to the Elegant Soiree for the United Way. Great event. Beautiful event. Unfortunately, I couldn't stay too late and enjoy all the wine, because the next day I decided I was going to go and finish a half marathon. So that was my full weekend of completing a marathon after that. And I just want to say that I was honored and humbled to receive the 2015 Woman of the Year award from Congress John Garamendi a few weeks ago. And through the mayor and myself, we're hoping to bring in all the other women that were also awarded within Sutter County. It was a privilege to be at that event and be surrounded by some wonderful women, and lots of the daughters were there, and spouses and significant others. And it was a beautiful event, and I was truly honored and humbled to be awarded that. And I think that pretty much covers it.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Gill.
Yeah, I think between this last city council meeting, this city council meeting, lesson city meetings and more public appearances. I was able to attend the fundraiser that was put on for Sutter County Animal Shelter SASA at Sopatais, and that was a nice packed house, packed event. So a great job to the Friends of SASA of pulling that event off. Also was able to attend the Sacramento Metro Chamber of Commerce luncheon they had on food and water and ag. And that was a packed house, and to have a lot of folks from this area's region there as well to learn about agriculture issues, water issues, photos at the show of the different lakes and dams and where we are and what kind of a dire need we would be in this area if we didn't have the El Nino that they're talking about. One of the keynote speakers is a great friend of mine. It's the Secretary of Agriculture, Karen Ross, and so I've invited her to Yuba City. And her comment is like always, just tell me the date and I will be here. So we need to get a date and have her here, Secretary of Agriculture, have her tour the area with us. So I think that'd be kind of nice. And then we were also able to attend a very, very popular event in Sacramento. It's the Farm to Fork Dinner, where they closed the bridge down. And the Vice Mayor and I, we were able to attend. And it was very, very interesting to meet so many people there without their entourages, and just have one-on-one conversations with Mayor Kevin Johnson, the mayor of West Sacramento, the Kings entire staff, as well as the new general manager Vladi Divac, Paige Stokovich, Chris Granger, and it's interesting because, and then we also met Rudy Gay, who was the Kings basketball player currently right now. And all of them said, well, when do you want us to come to Yuba City? And the vice mayor did invite Peja, and I believe that's in the works with the Kings to have him here in Yuba City. So not a lot of nice little celebrities, but they're all ready and willing and able, including the mayor of Sacramento, wanting to make a trip to Yuba City. So we have something here in Yuba City. I was also able to participate in the Pink October Walk. We had probably over 50 volunteers there walking for my wife Nina, Team Nina. So this is her third year. So hats off to all the people that volunteer and walk, not only for her, for everybody else that is affected by breast cancer. Also attended the United Way Soiree, so that seems to be a bigger and better event. They keep moving it. I don't know where they'd move it from Walnut Community Hall. I guess the next thing would be the fairgrounds to make it bigger. So hats off to the committee, Tom Walters, Bob Harlan, Casey Du, who's done a dynamite job, because when you put on events such as that, it takes volunteers, it takes time, it takes personal money, and you have to beg, borrow, and try to sell tickets to whomever, whatever, for all the causes. And a lot of times you go to these events, you see the same people over and over again. But this one here, it was not only the same, but there was a lot more of a crowd. So it's nice to see our community responding back to a great, great cause. So with that, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Vice Mayor Buckland.
It went to the Sierra Central, the grand opening, and I'll tell you, if you haven't had an opportunity to go through that facility, it is state of the art. You're not going to have an opportunity to go behind the scenes, as happened during the one event that we were at. But I will tell you, energy efficiency and everything else, this thing is a top-notch operation. They have plenty of room to grow. As Mr. Cassidy said, Sierra Central is Yuba City. So their entire operation is now based as their home corporate offices right here in Yuba City. And, all estimates, I think they're being a little secretive, but they put about $14 million into that project. And I just think it's great. I did sneak up and put my feet on John Cassidy's desk just to see what it felt like. And it was pretty comfortable. Attended the Sabufka meeting and certainly went through a number of the issues that are going on with the levees and kind of the process that we're currently at, knowing now that we are going to be at flood protection level as we potentially come into a stormy season right now, and that's all the way up north, with the absence of about, I think it's 6 miles to be completed next year, and a lot of those are some abutment workups next to bridges and things like that will be moving forward. Attended the waste management meeting and had some great community input. One of the first times that the regional waste management has had that much input. There was a lot of valid discussion that occurred, a lot of questions that came up out of that, and as a result, you see tonight there was a delay. As more information comes forward, we hope to be able to work with the waste management provider, Recology, as we move forward with some of the recommendations that are going to be coming out. The Yuba City Police Department is to be commended for what they've done in the community. They were able to do the pig feed and also hand a check over to our FIT program here locally. And I think that the check was somewhere in the vicinity of about $4,000 from the proceeds from that dinner. This really allows an opportunity for some of the youth to have basically a Christmas. Farm to Fork, what a great event. If this thing's being copied all over the nation, as from what we're hearing, but there is no place like Sacramento to go and do it. The closure of the I Street Bridge, it was an amazing event. We were able to take our wives. They ditched us, and they didn't want to hang out with two politicians. And I think we won on the deal. And so we were able to kind of navigate the entire span of that bridge and talk with various people. Our wives also won because they got to taste some incredible food that was provided. One of the comments that really struck me as a real positive is Congresswoman Doris Matsui came up to us as we met with her and said, "Oh, Yuba City, where the real farm is. You know, this is where the food for the fork comes from." And she was specifically talking to Cash and then asked her how walnuts were doing. So I don't know what that part of the conversation was. And I thought they were just calling me nuts at that very moment. The Pink October Walk, the Givicki family, the Givicki Foundation continues to move on. There's a number of events this year, but the walk was great. I was there as part of Team Nina and have been for the last couple of years. It's incredible. My dogs even choose to put on pink bandanas and walk with me. I'm a little embarrassed, but they look pretty cool while they're doing it. I also had a failed opportunity, to attend a peer study in Kansas City at the request of SACOG. And all I can tell you is when you fly United, don't be surprised if you're left in Denver with a canceled flight that you're looking at. It's not the place that I choose to spend the night after recovering my luggage at about 11 o'clock at night, meandering off to a hotel only to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and return back to Yuba City or to Sac Airport via Southwest. So I'm not putting any, no disrespect to United, but they need to pick up their game because I was sorely disappointed that we weren't able to have the full contingent back in Kansas City. And my apologies to the organization back there that is the sister to SACOG that spent almost 2 months preparing for this peer study that was to occur over a one-day period. And, you know, the best that I could do was to be able to Skype in with them at different points and not still glean the entire amount of information that was available. But I will be meeting with SACOG staff that did make it there. They flew Southwest to Kansas City and made it, where the CEO of SACOG and a Sacramento City Council member and I did not. But as it is, I'm back and certainly try to bring back some information from that peer study.
All right, thank you for your comments and the rest of the council members. I also attended the Civic Central Credit Union grand opening, but I was disappointed because John Cassidy said there would be no free samples that night. So that was disappointing, but it's pretty much the way John is, you know. Also attended the Sac Metro Chambers Perspectives Luncheon that Councilmember Gill and Cleveland attended. It was interesting to be able to discuss regionally, and again the theme of it was farm to fork. And as I like to remind them whenever I can, is that we are the farm that gives them the food on the fork. So and so it was exactly what Congressmember Matsui was saying also. Last Saturday had the privilege to attend the FBI Citizens Academy Range Day along with our city manager. He followed up after I left, but hopefully you had a good time there. It's always good getting together with the alumni there and doing a little practice shooting at the range in Sacramento. And let's see here, I think that's all I have to report at this time. So with that, we will adjourn the meeting.